Hi, my name's Tracy and I work at the Cathedral in Bangor. And I'm going to spend a few minutes imagining what Mary Magdalene's journey through Holy Week must have been like. I say imagine because actually we don't know much about Mary at all, let alone what happened to her through Holy Week. We know that she was probably from Magdala, hence her name, and Magdala was a place on the shores of Galilee. We know that Jesus cast out 7 demons from her. We don't know what they were, but they were probably some health problem, mental problem, psychological problem, something that caused her to suffer greatly, because we know that any demon is not good. To have 7 must have been awful. To have 7 demons, we can guess, would have caused her to be excluded from society. She would have been shunned and suffered greatly. So when Jesus exorcised her of these demons, she must have been so thankful, and she stayed faithful to him to the very end. We also know that she, along with some other women, resourced his ministry. So she had resources, but we don't know from where. She, of course, stayed with Jesus at the foot of the cross as he was dying. We do know that of her. And we know that she visited his tomb after his death to go and anoint his body, and found the risen Christ. And we know that Jesus trusted her enough to go and proclaim that good news to all the others. But we don't know how she felt during that triumphal entry into Jerusalem, where people were hailing Jesus as their saviour. We don't know how she felt when he turned over the tables in the temple and caused such a scene that would have been putting him directly in the sight of the powerful rulers in Jerusalem. We don't know how she felt in the Garden of Gethsemane, and how she felt at the confusing messages that Jesus was telling his disciples that he had to die and to suffer. We can only imagine that she was scared and confused. Maybe she hoped that he would turn back, that he would take some more time to teach and heal. He hadn't been with them long. Maybe she hoped he would turn away from this fate that he seemed to be telling them about. And then at his arrest and his trial, she must have felt bereft. This was her teacher, her saviour, her healer, her friend, somebody that she loved deeply. All we know, really, is that she was faithful to the very, very end. She knew that she was going to lose her friend. She knew that he was suffering, and yet she stayed. And it was dangerous for her to stay at the foot of the cross, because she was associating with a criminal. But yet she still stayed. And so I don't know how Mary would have felt during that journey through Holy Week. We can only imagine, from the losses that we've incurred over the past year, how that kind of loss can feel. The loss of a friend. Some of us have lost friends temporarily as we've been isolating. And some of us have lost friends for good. Our friends have died too. And we didn't get that chance to be with them at the last moment. So at least Mary had that, however awful that must have been. Mary's journey through Holy Week must have just been one of confusion and disarray. We don't know if she was the woman who anointed Jesus' feet, as many of us will have been told. We don't know that she was a sinner. We just know that she had 7 demons cast out of her by Jesus, that he restored her life, and that she was so grateful for that, that she stayed faithful with him to the very, very end. And so, what we know of Mary is her faith and her love for Jesus, and that she stayed even when she probably just wanted to run away.